Today, we're going to wait just a few more minutes for any late comers, and then we will go ahead and get started. All right, we are going to go ahead and get started. Today's webinar is on unique ways to market aged inventory and used equipment. We have Max and Emily from our team joining us today to talk to you all about some different unique ideas that they have worked on with their dealers or have seen from other dealerships. But before we get started and before they introduce themselves, just wanted to remind you all we have our AGCO Direct Dealer Summit coming up this October. This year's summit, we have expanded to about 65 participants. So if you have not yet signed up and you still want to sign up, we do still have some openings available and would love to have you join us here in Fargo. The sessions will be the same, both groups. So Mission A will start with a small group on Tuesday and we'll do the large group on Wednesday. And then Mission B, you'll do the large group on Wednesday in combination with Mission A. And then Thursday will be your small group day, which will be a duplicate of the same material we covered Tuesday. So like I said, we do still have a few spots available. So we want to try to get as many of you there that would like to be there as possible. There is a QR code there on the screen. If you'd like to sign up, you can go ahead and scan that. And that will get you to the registration page to sign up to be part of this year's Dealer Summit. We have a lot of really great content that we're really excited to share with all of you. We'll be going over some different marketing tactics that other dealers have used, some best practices for you all, as well as the Fendt team, the Massey Ferguson team, and AGCO Parts will be at the summit as well. And we have a few really good dealer panels planned and a farmer panel. So really looking forward to this year's event and everything that it has. So would love for you all to join us. Also, before we dive in, I just wanted to let you know we do have the chat open for you. So if you think of any questions throughout today's webinar, please feel free to put them into the chat box, which is off to the right-hand side on your screen. And we will answer those questions at the end of today's presentations. With that, I will hand it over to Max and Emily and let them introduce themselves.
I am Emily Marvel. Sorry, I was hitting the mic there. I'm an account manager here on the AGCO Direct team, and I have been with the team for 4.5 years at this point.
Yeah, my name is Max Foss. I'm also an account manager. I have been here for a little over 3.5 years now.
All right, I'm going to start by talking about marketing your used equipment. So selling used equipment, we all know, is a really big part of equipment dealers' businesses. It's important to make sure that you're always promoting what you have in stock and have a place to drive your customers and digital marketing efforts to on your website. So just a couple of things I'll go over about used equipment marketing. Keeping your equipment inventory up to date on your website. Different types of social media that you can utilize to promote your equipment, email marketing, digital ads, and that would be it. So used equipment inventory on your website. This is the biggest one, and something that we really want to drive home is to make sure that your used equipment is up to date and on your website, because it needs to be fully transparent what you have on your lot, both with the new equipment and the used equipment. But with used equipment, it's even more important to have those images and just make sure that you're showing off your equipment the best that you can. It builds trust and credibility. So the up-to-date listings, demonstrate that you're organized, trustworthy, that you're serious about your business. You making sure that accurate inventory or that inventory on your website is accurate builds confidence that the buyers will actually get what they see online. So just making sure you get those good pictures up there. It'll also help sell the equipment the nicer it looks. Improves the customer experience. So making sure that you have all of it on there makes it so that buyers of used equipment can know exactly where to go. So we know that they act quick because that stock is limited. And if they acquire about something that's already sold, it wastes their time and they may not come back. So it improves that customer experience, reduces frustration, keeping those customers on your website and not going from website to website to try to find that used equipment. It also creates urgency and scarcity. So real-time updates show when there's only a few units left. So if you, take the unit off after it's been sold, people can see that and they'll know that a lot of people are coming to your business to purchase that equipment. It motivates them to purchase faster. You can also do things like add like newly added tags to your website and your listings to help really highlight fresh opportunities and keep those customers coming back regularly to your website to find out what you have now. It also boosts your SEO and digital visibility. So SEO or search engine optimization, they rank your website higher when inventory pages are refreshed frequently. So adding new listings with unique descriptions and keywords will give you more chances to appear in Google search results as well. So if you're running a Google search campaign that we'll talk about here in a little bit, then it'll help with that as well. It also drives quality leads. So accurate inventory means that your sales team only fields inquiries for that equipment and the equipment that you actually have. So it'll save time by reducing, those dead end leads or just random leads coming in or people saying, is this still available? Most of the time, they're actually those qualified leads. Strengthens your competitive edge. So many buyers compare multiple sites before making a decision when they're purchasing large pieces of equipment that are, expensive. And if your site is current and your competitor's site is not current, you stand out as the go-to source for that used equipment. So frequent updates make your brand look active, like it's growing and engaged in the market. So just making sure, again, that you update all that inventory information on the website and keep it updated and remove old equipment will really help with your marketing of that equipment. And social media. So going from just your website, which you already pay for, so that's basically kind of free for you to market your used equipment on the website. Social media is another really cost-effective option for you to promote your used equipment. So these two are more awareness-based. Organic social media posts is just right on your wall there, making sure to add your equipment to a post, like the one on the bottom left over there. Really just shows off what you have to that audience as well. So it's no cost to you, just time, and it increases your brand visibility. So you can keep putting your used equipment up there and people know that they can come straight to Facebook to look at that equipment or to go to your website. It also creates urgency by showcasing real-time inventory updates. So if you just get a piece of equipment in, share it on your social media page, and hopefully you don't have to sell it with any money behind it at all. There is also an option of click to website. That one does cost money. So this is an ad. This would be like what you see on the right there. This is where it says shop now. It would just click directly into your website. So it helps you to drive those qualified traffic directly to your used equipment inventory page on your website. So it can link out to that exact piece of equipment or your inventory feed. And it helps potential buyers quickly see available equipment, increasing those chances of immediate inquiries or sales. So this gets promoted to whomever you want, really. There's a lot of different targeting that you can do on the back end of a click to website ad that will help you to target those specific people that might be interested in used equipment in general. And then that goes to your website, and then maybe they'll buy that piece of equipment, or they see something else that they like as well. There's also lead generating options on social media as well. So this one on the right here, this is a lead generation ad. It would pop out a form, and then the email that you see on the left is an email that comes when we send leads through lead generation ads on our end. It will come with like the name, the phone number. We can add basically whatever information you want on there, but it will qualify these leads a little bit as well. So like this one, you can see what they want to use the equipment for, how many days they are looking to purchase in. So within the next 30 days, within 60 days, something like that, what their buying range is. So what they want to spend on the piece of equipment. And then the other one, it's kind of an open-ended question, but on this one, it's like what horsepower are you looking for? You can also do like what model you're looking for. That one tends to go more on the new equipment side, but if they are looking for, specific to horsepower, you can use that as a question as well. And then you might have different salesmen that sell different types of equipment, and that'll help to know where your lead needs to go to. It's also a way that we can differentiate between those leads too. So we can actually send different leads to different salesmen directly by email. So if somebody sells only CUE equipment and it's less than 50 horsepower, then that email can go to him. If you have a high horsepower or like a hay equipment salesman, you can get those sent to that salesman. So it's quicker, it's faster, the lead gets directly sent to them. Like I said, it captures that contact info from those interested buyers. It allows you to nurture those leads with updated listings and exclusive offers. So you get that customer's information, and maybe they're not wanting to purchase right now, or the piece of equipment is too expensive, but they're looking for a specific piece of equipment. And when you get that in, you can then use that lead later and see if they're still interested in purchasing that piece of equipment. It also turns awareness into long-term sales opportunities and leads. So you can nurture that customer. They'll come back hopefully as a repeat customer, or maybe they're looking for different types of equipment. You can sell them a tractor as well as a baler. And then there's also retargeting paid social ads. So what we can do is then take those leads and or people that are on your website, and we can retarget those people with additional ads. So if they have come and looked at the used equipment inventory on your website, but they didn't purchase, we can take that audience and retarget them. And it also reminds people who viewed your equipment but didn't buy, and then it reinforces that urgency to keep your brand top of mind until they're ready to purchase. So if we keep promoting it and we keep pushing those ads to them, the likelihood of them coming back to your website as opposed to going somewhere else, since you are front of mind to them, is greater. Used equipment marketing by email. So promoting your used equipment inventory through email marketing campaigns is important because it puts your offer directly in front of an already warm, qualified audience. So something that we, I know, struggle with is getting those email addresses, or at least for past buyers. I know it's become more and more frequent that people get email addresses now, but I think something that in the past 4.5 years that we've struggled with is just getting those email lists to make these email campaigns. So just reminding you and your sales team to make sure to get those emails and put them in your CRM so that you don't, or so that you can utilize this tool to then retarget or email them directly when you have things like events, new offers on equipment, or used equipment that you're trying to sell. So this goes directly to those qualified buyers. They're already in your dealership. You've already met them. You maybe met them at a trade show. Just make sure you're getting that information and keeping that information as a lead. It drives faster turnover. So highlighting that limited stock and price savings in inboxes creates urgency and helps move inventory quickly. So I made this email up. This is not a real email. I'm not a graphic designer, but This would be like the example of a used equipment ad where you can feature, as many pieces of equipment as you want in there. And it's really cost effective and measurable. So it's cheap. If you go through us, we can help, and it's co-op eligible. It's highly trackable and easy to optimize for better results over time. So we have tracking on all of the emails. We can see how many people opened them, how many people unsubscribed, how many people clicked on each ad. So you can definitely tell who's interested, and then you can keep nurturing that lead as well. And then it builds loyal and repeat sales. So checking in with your customers on a regular basis keeps your dealership top of mind, encouraging repeat purchases. So people also use it for employee highlights or anything you really want to express about your business and or sell. It's a great way to get right in front of the customer. So if you have good leads or good email lists, and this is something you're interested in, definitely let us know, because it's a great way to promote it. Display ads. So really, these are Google ads, both ads that I'm talking about right now, not necessarily display, but you can use search in a display sense as well. But Google ads help you reach buyers who are actively searching for used equipment in your area, driving high intent traffic directly to your inventory listings. So this is a ad that Agriterra did, and they were pushing used equipment that goes directly to your pages, as well as the Google search in the bottom. So search captures active buyers by using keywords to target people looking for used equipment in your car. Those customers are higher intent and looking to buy now, and it keeps your used equipment visible against competitors bidding on the same terms. So I think the first thing that people do when they're looking for something these days is go to Google and type it in. And if they're typing in used tractors, used equipment, those are all keywords that Google then uses and promotes your business to. There's also Google Display, which is that top ad. It puts used equipment in front of a wider audience. It's different targeting. It's not people that are just typing in used tractors. It's a visual creative that can showcase limited time offers or lead gen messaging. So shop used equipment right there. You can re-engage past visitors that were not ready to buy yet with retargeted ads. So we can use this again, just like with the retargeted paid social ads. We can pull that customer list or anybody that's come to your used equipment page, and then we can retarget them with ads such as this one up on top. And it's cost effective as it runs across all the different industry sites. So if your site's on Google, you can promote on it as long as they sell their inventory. But most of the sites that people are looking at on a daily basis are on Google and can have display ads run on them as well. This is a case study that we did. We were helping Butler Ag Equipment promote their used equipment inventory. This is a year-long case study, so this has really been running since the beginning of the year with different ads swapped out at different times. But the top right one is actually a video ad, which is run on PMax, which is part of the display network. And then the bottom one is a lead gen paid social ad. So as you can tell, this campaign has gotten 18 million impressions since the beginning of the year and 29,000 clicks, and has 3,500 conversions. And something to note here too, depending on the screen size, if you can read this, but the Google location visits was the very first conversion. So a lot of the times outbound clicks or something, when somebody gets to your website, then they leave. That's the biggest conversion, but this one is really exciting to see that most people are trying to find a physical location to go get that equipment. So that's what they're converting when they're going to these sites. There's also Google Get directions, and then there's contact phone. So there's a bunch of different things that we can have these ads do just by putting in like different conversions. So this is doing really, really well. It is a combination of different tactics and marketing tactics. that are all working together to really retarget those audiences and to keep the Butler name and used equipment front of mind for these people. But they're all options that are affordable on their own or as a package as well. So they're all really good options to help promote that used equipment.
Yeah, thanks, Emily. So now we're going to move into aged inventory. A lot of this is going to be echoing what Emily said because they do kind of work hand in hand. So I'm going to bring you through a few different slides here about what we're going to cover. So first of all, with this aged inventory, dealers have to proactively sell this. It's something that you have to be intentional about when you want to sell your aged inventory. Otherwise, it just sits on the lot and it doesn't move as well as you want it to. So what I'm going to cover today are some topics that AGCO Direct can help with, such as a dedicated landing page and digital tactics, and then things dealers can do at a local level, such as events and promotions and dealer content. All right. So first, we're going to talk about dedicated landing pages. So dedicated landing pages make aged equipment easy to find and position it as a value buying opportunity for buyers rather than we have leftover stock on our lot and we need to move it. So I like to think of a dedicated landing page as a hub where we can route all of the buyers to so they can get clear information on what do you guys have on your lot, what is the price, what kind of models do you have. Some tips and tricks that we have is create urgency. Like I mentioned, this should be positioned as a buying opportunity for your customers rather than leftover stock being on your lot. So use big headlines such as big season savings, huge price reductions. This, I hate to use the word tricks the customers, but it positions it where this is a limited time offer. We have to act now. With this hub that I talked about, with this digital landing page or dedicated landing page, excuse me, some of the tactics that Emily covered, I'll talk about here too. So such as paid search in social media. If you are running tactics through AGCO Direct, we can route all of those customers, all of those impressions to that landing page so they can get the information that they need. I like to think of paid search as meeting the buyers today. So you know that they're proactively searching for tractors near me, ag equipment near me. You can meet them today and be that first page they get to where they can go on that landing page, get all the information that they need, and then hopefully convert to a qualified lead for you. They can see the price, they can see the models you guys have available, and they can reach out directly for a quote, reach out just for a call and quick conversation. So paid search is meeting those buyers where they are today. Paid social, on the other hand, is going to be more of an awareness campaign where you want to stay top of mind. You want to have that awareness. So even if they're not ready to buy today, down the road in a week or in a month, they could be ready, where you can reach out to those customers through that dedicated landing page again. So they're going to route to that landing page, see what you guys currently have, and then you can be top of mind for them. It's a very low cost method where you can reach a very wide audience and you can promote savings, promotions like the examples I have here on the right. So 0% financing available, in-stock Massey Ferguson equipment available. So they know that it's available, and if they want to act, they're ready to act right away. Moving into events and promotions. So these are things that you can do locally at a dealer level, such as open houses. You can create an event where you can have customers come in, see what you currently have available, and they can kick the tires, talk to your salespeople, make that connection. And I like to push this with a limited time offer. So I've already mentioned it a few times, but creating that urgency as this is a special promotion where you can create those limited time offers, such as yard sale, limited time buying opportunity, where you can create that urgency for that customer, so they can come in, see what you guys currently have. It helps build trust with your salespeople and the customers when they can actually meet face to face and do in-person walkarounds with the equipment you have on the lot. Virtual sales, this is something I did for the first time recently with Holt. We did a virtual yard sale where they were trying to move a bunch of equipment that they currently had. The way we did it is we promoted through social media. They sent emails. We created a dedicated landing page, and we created a Tractor House partnership. So we worked directly with Tractor House to list all of their equipment that they currently had available. So even if people couldn't come on the lot and see what was currently there, they knew during this time frame there was a sale that was going on through Holt, and they could go online, reach out, request a quote, and hold that equipment for them. So there are multiple ways to do this. If it's going to be difficult to get customers on the lot, I know a lot of farmers are busy, especially this time of the year. A virtual sale is a great option that you can pivot to. And then looking at dealer content, I hope this video will play here. I don't think it will, but these are two videos on the right. The far right one here is a walk around that a salesperson for PR Equipment did. What they did is they basically just went around, highlighted the key features of the equipment, questions that anyone would be asking, the typical questions that they receive, and trying to answer all those up front. And then they're posting it across their social media. They're sending it out through email just so people can get that engagement and help build trust with the dealership. So they come prepared. They know exactly what they're looking for. And it helps with that organic content on your social media. And then also helps, like I mentioned, build trust. They're easy to share across social, email, the landing pages if you do have a dedicated landing page, and they're super low cost. Like Emily mentioned earlier, all it takes is time. So if you can get a salesperson to buy in, or if you want to do it yourself, it's a great tool to use. That is all I have. So we will open up for questions now, if you guys have any.
Thank you both. As I mentioned earlier, over on the right-hand side, there is a chat box. So if you have any questions, please feel free to go ahead and type those into the chat and we will answer those. I do have a few seated questions here that we had, just some frequently asked questions that we typically get on these types of campaigns. So as the rest of you are thinking through any other questions you might have, I'll run through these. What types of tips do you guys have for keeping the inventory up to date on pages? We all know dealers get really busy and it can be difficult to keep that inventory up to date, both used and aged inventory. Any tips that you guys have for them?
I would say take one afternoon and try to do it all at once. And get all those pictures taken at one time, especially if it's nice out and it's the right time of year to take those pictures. So up here in Fargo, it's winter 90% of our lives. So try to get that other 10% of your life to take those pictures. And I know you should be updating them as much as possible, especially with the used equipment. And hopefully they don't stay up there very long. So I know it is a bit time consuming, but again, a half hour of your day or probably even less than that, 10, 15 minutes of your day for each piece of equipment could be a potential sale. So just making sure that you set aside that time to keep everything on your website up to date is really important on the used equipment side for sure.
Another thing I know that some dealerships have done is they make it part of the process for used equipment, when the piece comes onto the lot to be resold, the salesperson has to take pictures of it as part of their check-in process. So if you can have maybe a shared folder online that they can drop those pictures into or something, I think that's another great way for you all to make sure you're getting those images. As far as used equipment, if somebody's running a paid Facebook ad, does it need to show the picture of the piece of equipment they're trying to sell?
It doesn't need to, but it certainly helps just creating that visual aid so the buyer knows, what exactly they're looking at.
Yeah, I think if you don't, it just doesn't have as much authority when it comes to the dealership in general doesn't. If they just have a page that says stop by for used equipment, that's maybe not the best way to go about things. And then, yeah, if you show the real piece of equipment, you might get somebody to just call and buy it right away then, instead of having to, take more photos, send them to them directly, text them to them. At least there's a place you can send them right away, if you're not open as well. But yeah, with the paid social stuff, just making sure that you're putting your equipment out there is probably your best bet on that if you're actually trying to sell that equipment. So.
Peyton has a question asking, what is the budget for the Butler case study? If we can't share budget, could we share a case study with budget and leave the dealer anonymous? She says, and because it's a year-to-date study, how the budget changed each month. I think, Peyton, and I'll let Emily and Max jump in here too, it's going to change budget-wise based on your target audience too. So I don't know that it's going to be necessarily helpful for us to share exactly what their budget was, because their territory is going to be different than your territory. We really like to make our recommendations based on the territory that you're in. We can give some general guidance of it might be around this, but we'd want to work with our media team and make sure that we're making the best recommendation for your territory. Emily or Max, do you have anything to add to that?
Usually with like paid search and display, we are running a consistent budget month to month, depending like for used equipment for this one, it was a consistent budget every single month for those tactics, and you leave it on all year long. And then just optimize on the back end with new keywords. And if your targeting isn't correct and you need to expand or go further into the middle of nowhere instead of in the middle of a city, it really just depends on that. But as for things like paid social, that one can vary month to month and year to year. With the cost of Facebook, I mean, I know just from working here in 4.5 years, we went from, like a normal Facebook ad being like $300 to like a couple $1,000s. So it really just depends, again, like Kira said, on your market, because Fargo's market, which is where Butler is going to be a lot different than your market, Peyton, especially population wise, I would imagine. So you'll probably have to spend more money in your area. But again, I don't know 100% what that cost would be until looking into your PAR. But they do a pretty consistent year over year used equipment always on campaign that always drives to their used equipment page on Butler's website. So.
Yeah, and that's something I think can be flexible too, especially if you run into the situation where you have a lot of used equipment on the lot. Maybe you want to spend more in paid social to get that additional coverage. Whereas if you sold a lot of things and you don't have much, maybe you don't need to spend as much. So it could be a variable number that changes based on your guys' situation.
Also seasonality of the business. I mean, you're probably going to spend a lot less money, at least in our area. Again, I can only speak for this dealer, but in the off season of November through February, people are probably less likely to purchase, but there's still people purchasing out there at that time too in the off season to try to get different equipment. But usually try to stay consistent on search at least through those months.
Yeah.
You guys talked a little bit about you talked a little bit about click to website ads and lead gen ads on Facebook. Which one, if a dealer had to pick one of the two, which one would you recommend and why?
I can take this, Emily. It depends. So I talked about that landing page quite a bit. If you guys as the dealer have a good landing page where you can send people, I'd recommend click to web, because then people can get all that information there. They can take action and request a quote or request more information on that landing page. If you don't have a great landing page set up, then I would lean more towards a lead generation ad where they can fill out that information right away. And we can input those questions like Empire had. So price range, how soon are you buying? Those, more targeted questions. So I would recommend a lead gen if you don't have a landing page set up or a place you don't feel comfortable sending customers to get all their information.
One other question on the lead gen ads. Emily, you shared that the leads can be sent directly to the dealers. Can you talk a little bit about how that automation can happen so quickly? And also, does it have to be sent to just one person, or can those leads be sent to multiple people?
Yeah, so when we use a program that connects to the back end of Google Ads or your Meta account, your Facebook account, and it automates that lead flow to whomever or wherever you want it to go. So it connects to like something like 7,000 different apps or something, and most of the ones that I've used are included in it. So if you use something like Salesforce to do your leads, or if you use a different CRM, it's definitely something that we can look into to see if it will hook up to it. But a lot of people don't even have one. So a lot of the time it is just an email that's sent, and it goes automatically when the ad comes in, or when the lead form is filled out. So once that lead form's filled out, it's just an automatic trigger that is sent out. You can send it to as many email addresses as you would like. So we can just put the email addresses into the system, and then it sends it automatically. So it's really fast and super easy, and a great way to turn around those leads in a quick time frame if you can.
Awesome. Thank you. I don't believe we have any other questions. Just wanted to give one more quick plug for the Dealer Summit. We do have that QR code there on the page again for you all, if that is something you're interested in. Again, we would love to have as many of you as possible at the Dealer Summit. You'll be able to hear from other dealers, meet with other dealers. We have lots of great ways for you guys to engage with each other, as well as hear from specialists from AGCO Direct and from Fendt, Massey, and AGCO Parts. So we're really looking forward to this. I know Emily alluded to it being winter 90% of the time here. We don't know what it will be like here in October, but I believe last year at the same time we did hit the 90s. So you never know. We've had snow that time of the year and we've hit 90. So it's not scary. I'm not trying to scare you with the weather, but it's an adventure. So we hope you can come and join us. We think it'll be a lot of fun. If you guys do have any other questions after today's webinar, please feel free to reach out to us at ads@agcodirect.com or reach out to your AGCO Direct account manager. And they would be happy to help you out and answer any of your questions. Or if you want to set up your own used equipment or aged inventory campaign, we're happy to help you out with that as well. Next month's webinar, we will be talking about AMP from Parts. So we'll have Alicia from the Parts team joining us to talk about the AMP program for 2026. So watch for an invite coming to your inbox soon for that webinar. Thank you all for your time today. We appreciate you joining us, and we hope to talk to you all again soon. Have a great day.